And now, more fuckery from the nice guys. Be sure to wash your hands after listening and wait 30 minutes before swimming.
Says, according to Doug's disc profile, Doug hates spreadsheets and long emails. Doug is persistent and patient, making him great with follow-up. Doug loves words of affirmation, and Doug loves people and relationships. And what is so funny about this is I would say 1 in 10 emails comes back with a, I know you don't like long emails, but...
Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it is we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. You see us as you want to see us, in the simplest terms, in the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is the nice guys on business. Go from where you are now to where you could be. Get expert tips to grow your business, to be more productive and more efficient, whether you're trying to build influence, grow your community, or make it rain. Best-selling author of Nice Guys Finish First, Doug Sandler, can lead the way. The Nice Guys on Business is produced by Turnkey Podcast Productions. Now, here's your host, Doug Sandler.
Computer. Recording. Okay, now let's go back. Share computer sound. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
I mean, as good as we can expect to be.
Right. So you did hit, and I'm recording too, so we should be fine.
Welcome back. Welcome back. If we're finally here, welcome back. Yes. Technical problems. I don't even have the girl from Evening Music. I could get it, I guess. I've got it.
No, it's too much, too hard.
Doesn't matter. You see here, we're sharing my screen. You see 46 download, 96 upload. I mean, that's good. It's not as good as I'd like, but it's still pretty goddamn.
I don't know. If Nice Guy community, if you've never taken the speed test, and I'm not talking about a drug that Mother's Little Helper.
A little white powder there.
I'm talking about the speed test for your internet connection. Devil's dust. So if you haven't yet taken a speed test, check out what your internet speed is. It is amazing. I think before I hardwired my computer into our internet modem, I was something like a 6 upload speed and maybe a 12, maybe a 9 download speed or something crazy like that. And now I'm a 431 on my download, but I'm still only at 22 on the upload. So I don't, which is more important? I think download people focus on when they are like streaming video, right?
Right, exactly. Upload is only if you're sending a big file up to the Google Drive or something. Download is far more important.
What is important when we are doing a podcast recording or when anybody is communicating through the internet?
Well, it's both, except that audio is very small, right? I mean, that's why we say, hey, just turn your video off, right? If we're not sharing video, even if you've only got like 5 or 10 megabits a second, it should be fine. So who knows?
But it never is. It never is. It's never enough. I even bumped up to I spent an extra $20 a month just to get the extra fast speed.
You told us many times.
Oh, sorry. Apologize. That's $20. It's a lot of money to me. It's a lot of money.
Anyway,
I'm a fixed income, Strickland.
Yeah, man, I hear you. I hear you. We got to work on that. We definitely need to work on that for both of us, I think.
All right. In
fact, I see a topic, budgeting in the new year. So that's one of the things we can talk about.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool. Okay. We do have 2 voicemails. I have a couple of topics that I had written in there, and I have some true life experiences I want to be able to share.
Damn, nice. Well, why don't I do the voicemails first so we don't forget? Because we have to do them on this because it's just you and me once a week now, right? So we have to do them now.
That sounds good. Yeah, I did. I had to clear my throat, so I hit the pause button.
The cough button.
So as not to interfere with the rest of it. I see you're trying to jam all of the stuff into your shared screen here. It's like, okay, where are you going? What are you doing? You even have all of the little. So the stuff on the right side of the screen that I'm seeing that nobody else is seeing. So it really won't make any, a hill of beans to anybody. What is all that stuff on the right hand side you got over there?
Hang on. Are you seeing both screens right now?
No, I'm just seeing your audio editing screen.
This. So you're seeing this?
I'm seeing your Hindenburg screen. Yeah,
you're looking at this list.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my quick list. This is my quick poll. So like if things that I use often, like the tone, right? I just do this. I drag it here, like when I'm doing editing. Just like that, right? And like if I need, business story, this is Park Howell. This is one of our shows, and I do his editing still, his intros and outros, right? Nice Guys on Business intro new. You see, I drag this right on here, and you see, you don't need to hear that. All of that. It's great. 80 by 80 cool. Intro. Hey, this is Karen Briscoe. Yeah.
Hey, can you send me the ability to use that editing software? That looks really cool.
Oh, Hindenburg is the bomb.
Is there a really long learning curve if I just want to do some basic stuff with it?
No, well, the thing is, you've been using Audacity, right?
Yeah.
It's very different. It's almost kind of like Mac PC different, but I think Hindenburg is tons easier. I don't like using Audacity at all anymore. I think you'd really like it. So you and I can walk through. I'll give you a training one of these days.
That would be really cool. I mean, I'm just looking at your screen. I can't see quite the entire Hindenburg Journalistic Pro. I can't see the entire screen there, but what I see is it looks pretty cool.
It is. It's really cool, and it's very easy to use, and it's got great noise reduction built in. Where here's the noise reduction. Let me show you visually.
Okay.
One knob.
Right.
That's it. You just turn the knob up or down. Right. It's not like all kinds of weird filters and shit like that.
Okay, I'm into it. I would like to. I think as a way to bring in the new year properly, I really do think I should get on the same editing software that you're on. Just so if I have any really advanced problems, you can show me how to fix it.
I love it. Good plan.
And does it accept MP3 and Wave and all that other stuff too?
Absolutely, yeah, all that stuff. Cool. Even whatever the Apple proprietary M4A or whatever, you can do that too.
Cool. All right. So if you are in our community and you have any interest in audio editing, then Hindenburg, it sounds like I've been using Audacity, but I am now using Catalina, which is the Mac's latest iOS. Mm-hmm. And of course, none of the PC world has kept up with that iOS. So it's like we don't support it right now. And there is a workaround that I have used it for the last couple of weeks. And I find that anytime I do anything that is other than just drag and drop into the software, meaning I'm doing any editing, cutting, splicing, joining, any of that, the whole program crashes and loses all of my stuff.
Oh God, that's not good. Yeah.
So not good. I am loving my new computer, but I don't like how far advanced it is. It's kind of like going to Mars and someone saying, where are the Pop-Tarts? It's like, hold on. Yeah, it's not happening. Not right.
Just too fast.
Yeah, way too fast.
All right. This has been the Nice Guys on Podcasting. Okay, we're moving on now. Back to the Nice Guys on Business.
Okay.
We have a voicemail from Jared and another one from Jenny. So
let's do it.
You ready to dive in?
Yeah, go.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strick. Jared here. So I was listening to the episode, and you guys were talking about goal setting, and I wanted to interject a couple things for you that may or may not
Always
be
helpful.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks talking about goal setting and things that I've kind of started catching is setting goals for activity. As you guys said, you can't control whether someone buys. Yes, you can do a good job and potentially get so many people, and you can start to figure out a ratio. But if you set an activity goal, that will allow you to do things that you can control, and it relieves some of the stress and pressure off of trying to achieve your goals. The other thing that I just finished listening to the audio book is Brian Moran's 12-Week Year. And so I got the book as well, the physical book, and I believe that's what I'm going to start doing is implementing a 12-week year. So like you were saying, Strickland, practically quarterly, you're setting a goal, making it more bite-sized, and you can shift and adjust. And then that way you're also, Doug, you were mentioning, feeling like you were a failure because you didn't stick to that goal. You shifted. I don't think shifting is a big deal. I think that's part of life. We have to be willing to make changes and get on target for what's important now, and that might help. So just wanted to throw them out there for you guys. Thanks for keeping the show rolling. Now keep tuning in.
Okay, so a couple things. First of all, no, I got to hit stop because it's going to roll into Jenny otherwise. Okay, who was that? That was Jared? No, wait a minute. There was no compliment. There was no insult, and it was actual business advice. That couldn't have possibly been Jared.
He made the shift quite successfully. I wish that we had made the shift quite as successfully as Jared has. He's made the shift over to the fact that, hey, we're now on a business show right now. I mean, it doesn't have to be a tried and true business show all the way through. That was just a message that was really, really good. And I wasn't really sure where he was heading. because I haven't read that book. I thought originally he was going to be talking about the 12, what did he say, the 12-week year or
It's a
something
12-week
like that.
year. I'm looking at the website right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be, there are so many people that are now totally into the 3-day work week or work, I forget how the calendar works, but you spend 3 weeks on and 1 week off, or you spend 2 weeks on and you have a catch up week and then you have a week off. So there's so many different ways, but the idea of having the 12-week year from a perspective of how you set your goals and how you are trying to achieve the things that are going on, I love that, because it really does come down to the activity. Then it doesn't come down to this esoteric, airy-fairy goal out there in the future. That's like, can you possibly forecast what's going to happen in 12 months? I look at some of my goals and I'm like, no way.
Hell no. It's too big. It's too much. Yeah, that was like Bucky Haight. I mean, really, his 100 days, that's about the same thing. 12 weeks is about 100 days. I think it's a great idea. I'm looking at the website right now. It's called 12weekyear.com. And no, this is not endorsement because we haven't read it or listened to any of that shit, but it seems like a really good idea. And that was good business advice.
All right. So let's take this to the next level. What is the opportunity, do you think, to get that guy on our show? So can you send me that access to that website, or just what is it? I'll just look it up myself.
No, I'll just reply right now. It's 12weekyear.com. It's incredibly easy. Well, there we go. I just emailed it to you. I think it would be great to get him on. Maybe he can get free copies of his book and we can get shit done. I like it.
I love the idea of having the 12-week year, or at least the 12-week goal setting process, or the 12-week activity cycle, because I'll tell you, when you get further than that, it just doesn't happen for me.
No, it's just too much. I agree. And, we could actually read the book, or you could just interview him and get all the information that way in 30 minutes. And it's all good. We don't have to read the book. That's the easier way to do it. Okay. So that is my goal, Nice Guy Community. In the next 100 days, I will get that guy, whoever that guy is. Is it a New York Times bestseller? They tend not to want to respond to me. Nah, everybody's a New York Times bestseller nowadays. You can do it. It's okay. He'll come on.
I don't know about that, but
we got 3 million downloads. Come on, that's impressive.
That's true. Okay, I'll hit him up. Let's see what happens.
Okay,
this is a system that actually works.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what it says. It's good. I mean, see, we're promoting him already. He's not even paying us.
I'm looking at. Oh, is this a TED Talk? Does he have a TED Talk? Damn it! I hate these guys when they're successful like this.
Brian Moran, co-author of the New York Times bestseller. Apparently, he has a co-author. But maybe you can get the other guy on.
The other guy
whose name is not on
the other 12 guys that were on.
Well, it says co-author, so he has somebody else, but the other guy's name, whoever the other guy he co-authored with, I don't think his name is on.
We have John C. Maxwell. I'm interviewing John C. Maxwell on the show this week. Damn it, I am somebody. I don't have to prove myself anymore to anybody.
He's big. It's a big name.
Okay. All right. So we will do our best to get him on. Let's listen to Jenny's voicemail now.
Okay.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strick. So I was just listening to last Friday's show. You guys were talking about goal setting for the new year, intention setting for the new year. Something about a Punkin fan meetup in LA. And, I have no idea how that went, but I didn't see any pictures online with any Punkin fans. So I'm sorry. I'm guessing people out there didn't make it out to the Purple Orchid Bar. But anyway, so listening to the goal.
Yeah, by the way, thanks for rubbing it in, Jenny. Okay, thanks for rubbing it in.
Hey,
See, I can stop now. That's the one good thing with this. We're not on Zoom because Zencaster fucked us. So we're on Zoom. I can actually stop and start the messages now. So
I do like that. Okay, keep going.
Okay, here we go.
As a coach, one of the things that I would recommend doing with that is not just set the goal, but actually create an action plan with mechanisms and strategies and tactics, that you can break down into manageable chunks of time, very similar to what Strick said about you guys getting together and meeting once a month and reviewing, because that which gets tracked gets done. That which gets celebrated gets repeated. So when you do something well, you guys should celebrate it, make a big deal out of it, because then you're going to want to do it again. And figure out ways to tweak and make better. And I agree with Strick. That's definitely one of his strengths, is the analysis portion of it and saying, okay, what can we do to make this better? And then the second thing, Doug, you love relationship selling. You don't care about the online stuff. I'm telling you, have a talk with Virginia Mooski because that's what she does.
Yeah.
She teaches you how to take those joint venture partnerships, develop the relationships with the right people who have the right clients, because she helps you identify your actual best target client, ideal client who will actually pay you money. So just have the talk with her. It can't hurt to have a conversation with her, because, well, you know her, and she knows what she's talking about with this. It works. I'm doing it in my business, and so I'm implementing your system, implementing her system, and the two of them together are making me more money. So talk to Virginia. Just trust me on this one. All right. Bye, guys. Bye, Doug.
Yeah. Yeah, she's right. She's right about that. I really should talk to Virginia. I do trust Virginia, and I do know her. There are some some opportunities. You're actually coming to one with me in San Diego, JVology with Jay Facette, just so we can see how far we can get with this joint venture thing. I think the joint venture idea in 2020 is really going to be a great one for us, because that is the area that we have really excelled at over the last couple of years. Not that we don't excel at the other stuff, but I really do think that that's our best. That really is our best target, is to get more involved with joint venture partnerships and trying to find, because we are flexible enough to really move in so many different directions. So I don't know. I'm curious what the outcome for that meeting in February is going to be. And she is right, though. I really should have a conversation with Virginia.
I think it's a good plan. That's a very good plan. 2 voicemails and actual business advice with both of them. How crazy is that?
We got that, and we got it done so early in the episode. And we actually have a couple of topics to talk about too.
I know, right? What's up with that?
Do we have a topics wheel sound effect? Do you still have that guy? I'm sorry. Did you bring
sound effect? There's no sound effect. It's an actual wheel. I've got the wheel right here. I'm keeping it all greased up and
I see that.
And whatever
I like
it.
This is really cool. And I like how you're expanding out the wheel. This is good. I like how you've done all this.
All right. So are we ready to pick a topic? I'm going to spin the wheel and pick a topic.
Well, this is like the first time in 2020, definitely, that we are spinning the topics wheel. But those that aren't even familiar with what the topics wheel is, because you haven't been doing the Nice Guys Fuckery episodes, and now we're back over to Nice Guys on Business. The Nice Guys wheel, the topics wheel, is a wheel that we spin to do what, Strickland?
Pick a topic.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Hence the name. Yeah.
Topics wheel.
Yeah.
All right, spin the topics wheel. We'll pick a topic and we'll go from there.
Hey, we may be getting much closer to Jenny Bellinger in the near future. I'm going to talk to you about that after the episode.
Oh. Okay. Is there something? Is this from a business perspective?
Yeah, it's business.
Okay.
I thought I'd leave you hanging for a minute there. But this is not personal. It's business.
Okay, I didn't know where you were taking me.
No, Jenny and I are not having a baby or anything.
I will follow you no matter where you go. Hey, just curious. On the thing that you have on the screen, which it will be completely ununderstandable to anybody other than me because I'm looking at the screen, you have the ability to drag that up just to expand that, not drag it up as in another track.
No, that's just visual.
No, what is the, hold on, that little tiny rectangle in the middle right there. Yeah. What is that?
Volume.
Oh, that's really cool too, because you can't do that in Audacity the way you can here. Okay.
And you want to fade in? You want to fade out?
Oh no!
You want to mute a piece in the middle? You just do that.
Damn.
See?
Okay.
Cool
all right.
that, right.
I am now.
This is great software.
Very cool. Okay. And it's not even like we need to pirate it either, because we actually
own
a legitimate copy of it.
I actually paid money for it like 2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you, Hindenburg. Appreciate you.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Spin the wheel. Let me pull the mic a little far away from it. It's a little close to the mic.
Wow. That was good.
When did $1 million become affordable? 100-year mortgage. What the hell is 100-year mortgage? I don't think.
All right. So JJ and I are looking at houses in California. And I would honestly have to tell you that nothing short of $1 million has even tickled my fancy, even to the slightest.
Wow.
And what is amazing about that is that this is not like I'm not, if you're listening to this and thinking, oh my God, you are so spoiled, you are so ridiculous, you are out of control, Sandler. What I would tell you is, well, yes, all of those things are true. However, $1 million buys I mean, maybe in the areas that we are looking at, which is part, it's location when it comes to real estate. But in the couple of areas that we are looking, $1 million really does not buy you a home that's much more than 13 to 1,800 square feet.
Wow.
And 3 bedrooms, 2 baths on a small lot in California.
Well, in LA, not the whole. Don't
no,
bundle in the whole state.
No, of course. Well, no, not just LA. I mean, LA. It's LA proper, yeah, but it's also the surrounding towns. Try to go to Ojai. Try to go to Santa Barbara. Try to go to San Francisco. Fuck San Francisco. You can't even get near San Francisco with that kind of money. Try to go to San Mateo. Try to go to Santa Cruz. Anywhere like that. If you get anywhere even close to the water, and we're talking miles away from the water, Ojai is the place that we are looking in seriously and to buy a home. And you cannot find a home in Ojai for less than $1 million. That is something that you really, really are. I mean, okay, maybe $800,000 or $900,000, but isn't that close enough to $1 million to just round up to $1 million?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah.
So then it got me thinking. Aren't there some countries that have mortgages that are longer than 30 years? Like, doesn't Japan have like the 100-year mortgage?
I've never heard anything like that. Where did you read about that? Did you look that up, or you're just throwing that out there?
No, 100-year mortgage, Japan. Okay.
I've never heard of anything like that.
The Japanese, famous for saving, are now loading their future generations with debt. Nippon Mortgage and Japan Housing Loan, 2 big home lenders, are now offering 99 and 100-year multi-generational loans with interest rates from 8.5% to 9.5%. Borrowers put up their homes as collateral. This was back in 1990. That article was written.
Okay.
So 100-year mortgages are reality.
No, well, what about today? Okay, so 1990, that was actually 30 fucking years ago.
Okay.
Was that just something they were trying at the time, or is it still?
Hold on. Best mortgages in 2020, January 13th, 100-year mortgages. The 100-year mortgage, this was in 1995. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get a little closer. Calculate 100-year mortgages. 5 mortgage trends likely to continue. That's not it. Sweden cuts mortgage terms to 105. Sweden cuts maximum mortgage term to 105 years.
Wow. And what was it before? I hate to ask.
I know. Jesus. Wait. Let's see. What was it? That was in 2016. Let me see what the 105 years to just 105. Regulators are now restricting mortgages terms to 105 years. You could get, I don't know what I don't want to read through this entire article as I'm on here, but yes, 100-year mortgages, 140 years was was the maximum mortgage term. I think, how does that even happen?
I don't know. That's ridiculous. That's not even worth discussing.
Well, but it is to a degree, because look at, if let's say somebody is 80 years old and they are looking to get a mortgage. Now, what mortgage term is it? What maximum mortgage term in the United States can an 80-year-old get?
I don't know. I would guess a 30-year.
A 30-year mortgage, exactly. If the maximum mortgage is a 30-year mortgage, so that would put them at 110 years old. Okay, so if somebody that is 20 wants to buy a home, and they want to buy a home, but the home is a little bit outside of their range, and we had offered them a 100-year mortgage, how old would that person be when they finish completing the mortgage?
The same age.
About the same age. It's 10 years difference. Okay, so it's 120 as opposed to 110. However, is my point at all close to being made here? Why don't we have 100-year mortgages here in the United States? And the
they're
answer,
ridiculous.
I was going to say, and the answer, because they're stupid, does not count.
I have no idea then. If you've taken my main answer away, I have no idea. Because really, that's what I would say.
Well, because really, I mean, when was the last time? Now, Strickland, how many homes have you owned I'm going to put you on the witness stand. How many homes have you owned in the last 40 years?
3.
You've owned 3 homes. And I think I've owned somewhere, probably 6 or 7.
Wow.
So
really?
Because I had a house in New Jersey. I had a condo in New Jersey, a house in New Jersey, a rental property in Baltimore. I had a property in Baltimore that I purchased, and then another property in Columbia that I purchased. So that's 5 right there. And I'm sure there's another one that I'm missing.
Tim, you're like a real estate mogul and shit.
I don't think so. I made money on one of them and I had to give it up in the divorce settlement. Okay. So, all right. So in the 6 homes or 5 homes that I've owned, in the 3 homes that you own, so 9 or 10 homes that we have owned together.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm adding how many times I actually stayed in it for the 30 years and was able to pay it off. And I'm allowing you to count that too. How many of those have you been? Mine's a real easy number. How about you?
How many have I actually completed the 30-year loan?
And paid off?
That would be 0.
Right. 0 for me also. So what is the difference between having a 30-year mortgage and having a 100-year mortgage, with the exception of the payment is going to be lower?
Well, from the bank standpoint, and hopefully from your responsibility standpoint, it's how much is it going to be worth when you go to sell it, and how much do you pay on it? Because when you're paying a 30-year loan, you're a good 5 or 7 years in before you even start eking away at the principal, even a little tiny bit.
And do you know what the average amount of time that a homeowner is in a home?
I have no idea.
7 years.
Oh, interesting. Right.
So I hear you. So I understand that. And I hear where you're going, that, hey, listen, you don't even start to attack any of the principal pretty much. I mean, you do at the beginning, but it's so little. It doesn't even matter. But 7 or 8 years in, you do start to take a bigger chunk out of that. So what then is the difference if you make a 100-year mortgage, if it makes attaining real estate that much more easy for someone that's out there? I mean, wouldn't the advantage be, hey, now I have a property. Now I feel like I've kind of reached a goal in my life where I want to go, and I have a 100-year mortgage. And so what if it's 100 years? I'm never going to get done with it anyway. And when I die, and when JJ dies, if we're the ones that own the property and she stays in it for as long as she wants to and continues to make the payments, what's the difference? So you move in and the house is $100,000, or let's say the house is $1 million. We move out, we still owe pretty much the same $1 million, because on a 100-year mortgage, I can assure you that you don't start attacking any of the principal probably until you're around year 30. And who stays in a house for 30 years anyway?
Mm-hmm. Do you know what that kind of thinking led to?
Is it called the Great Depression? I don't know.
2008, yes. That was the whole thing. They were giving away mortgages for nothing.
Yeah.
And people could put 1% down and get a mortgage, even though they couldn't really afford to pay it, because the values of real estate was just going up and up and up and up.
So then
the banks figured, hey, who cares if they can't pay the loan back? It'll be worth, we own the home, the bank technically owns the home. It'll be worth more when they default on it. So who cares? Well, yeah, that
didn't work so good, did it? Because when the market collapsed and everything got fucked up, everybody lost money and the market tanked. And now people were sitting on houses that they owed $100,000 and the house was worth literally $30,000.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not a good plan either. But where is the happy medium in between? Why is 30 years an arbitrary number that we're able to pick? And I can say, hey, okay, I have a mortgage payment that's now $2,000 a month as opposed to $5,000. I mean, we have friends in Santa Cruz. They are looking at rental properties, and the rental property cost is $5,500 every month. Who wants to fucking pay that? Who wants to pay that?
That's just crazy. I couldn't even imagine.
I can't imagine that either.
Go to a different area. You have to move. You got to live somewhere else.
I would agree with you with one exception. It's a really nice area to want to live.
Well, that's what you pay for it then.
That's the trade-off.
You're paying for that whole really nice area thing.
So can't we have regional mortgages that are a longer term to allow people more affordability? I mean, unless you only want the rich to be in your... Okay, we're moving on.
I know you didn't set the 4-minute timer, but I think we've exhausted that topic. If that's
I am really curious, if you're in our community and you have some words to say about that. Apparently, Strickland is totally against the 100-year mortgage, and I would also look at one other thing before we move on, and we will move on very quickly. Okay, we have now discovered that you and I both have had 9 or 10 mortgages between the two of us. And they were all either 15. I had a 15-year mortgage on one of the properties. They were either 15 or 30-year mortgages. Okay, exactly how many of those, Strickland, did you default on?
Oh, none.
Same here. Okay. So if you take a responsible person that has an excellent credit rating and has a track record of paying debt, why wouldn't there be the ability to have a 100-year mortgage?
Because the value can easily go down, and you may have a great track record of paying back, but if the value goes down and you've been in a place for 10 or 15 years, and even after that amount of time, it's worth less than you paid for it,
I'm going to call bullshit on that, because I'm going to say it's irrelevant how much money that I owe on my property based upon the property value. It's all an illusion anyway. The property value, if you say to me, based upon the economy, my house was worth $500,000, and now because the economy tanked, it's worth $300,000, but I took a $500,000 100-year mortgage on it. What's the difference if I owed whether I have a 30-year or a 100-year mortgage? It shouldn't matter.
Okay, so let me ask you, you had a number of properties, a number of mortgages, and have for any of those properties,
Yep.
did you actually, when you sold the property,
Yes.
did you actually have to write a check to the bank for any of them? Really?
Yes, fucking yes. I bought a house. It was $128,000. It was my second property. I bought it in northern New Jersey, and it was in 1990 when I bought the property, and the economy tanked in that specific town. My house went from $128,000. I had an FHA mortgage. I borrowed $125,000 on the property. I sold it at $90,000. I came to the settlement table with a check for $28,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
So I understand the importance. I could have easily walked away and wrecked my credit for 7 years, or I could have done the right thing, which was to write the check. And did I mention the fact that I stayed in the house? I held the house for 4 years beyond that because the property values tanked so much, losing $600 every fucking month.
Wow.
So what I would say is it doesn't matter whether I had a 30-year or 100-year mortgage. And I'm not saying that I'm an extraordinary human being or did do the right thing no matter what the circumstances. I just knew that it doesn't matter if it's a 30-year or 100-year mortgage. Property values are property values. Whatever I owe on that property at the end is going to be the same. It's irrelevant based upon it's irrelevant whether I have a 30 or 100-year mortgage. Unless somebody can tell me legitimately why I shouldn't be able to have one, other than they're just not offering them, that's fine. And they don't offer them here. So it's not like, I'm not worried about it. I'm not thinking about, well, why can't I? And I'm going to, go to the government and try to get my 100-year mortgage. I just don't understand why they don't have them, because people should step up and do the right thing anyway. Okay. All right, let's move on.
I'm gonna let the Wookiee win this one. Okay.
Budgeting
in the new year.
Yeah. So right before this, while I was waiting, because my formal relationship with time actually got me here an hour and a half early, while I was waiting for myself and you to show up at a time when you didn't even have to be here. I said, well, I'm just going to do my budget for 2020. Now, interestingly enough, my son just recently moved to New York, and we did his entire budget because he was fucking freaking out. I mean, he was saying
New York City.
Well, he moved to Brooklyn. He has a job in the financial district in New York City. So you know what the expenses are there.
Fucking a lot. Yeah. Okay.
So, but this is his first real job. And with the exception of, it's not my business to share his income. I have no problem sharing mine, but I can't share his without his permission. So I'm not going to do that. But we literally went through every expense that he had, getting down to the going out and eating and entertainment and groceries and meals and all the stuff, 401k, a health spending account, all flexible spending account, benefits, every single thing. And by the time he was done, the income that he had, and including income taxes, state and federal, what would you estimate for state and federal income taxes if you were just to say, if somebody makes $1,000, let's say hypothetically, a month, what would you take out for state and federal had you not seen anybody's check or you had a real life example of what happens over the course of the month?
Oh God, I don't know. What is it, like 25% or something?
I just figured 35%. I just took 35%. So for every $1,000 that he makes, I took $350 and just said that's going to go to state and federal taxes. So I don't know what the reality of it is. So when it came down to it, I basically took his entire income and I portioned it out to to different things. I did a budget for him. So we get to the end, he's like, well, where's the rest of the money? And I said, well, he's 23 and I love him, but he's never had to do a budget. So I said, well, there isn't any money. I mean, it's not that I didn't give him any money to have entertainment or go get groceries or eat out or do whatever he wants to do with his girlfriend or anything. I gave him money for that, but he wanted to know where the money was at the end. I said, Adam, this is a budget. If you have an income of $1,000 at the end, the budget should be zero. That's what you want it to be, because some of the items on that list are savings.
Right.
So I said to him, I said, this is, so he started to get all like a little bit anxious over the money thing. And I kept saying to him, this is what a budget is. Have you ever done a budget for yourself?
Not in a very long time. I need to, and desperately. Yeah, I'm very bad with that.
So you really don't know like how much money that you spend on, let's say, I mean, you have an idea of what a credit card bill would be. I know you pay off your credit cards at the end of the month, but do you average like a certain same amount every month for credit cards or whatever it is?
Yeah. I
do. So if you're in our community or if you're Strickland, don't you want to know like what, doesn't it give you a little bit of angst not to know, or you prefer not knowing?
No, I need to know. I've made the choice to not know, and it has probably not been a great choice. And definitely things are changing quite a bit on my finances right now. So yeah, I need to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. When you move from Baltimore to Austin, I would assume that a number of things changed, like, a number of things, meaning like mortgage payment from one to the other, your gas and electric. I was really surprised how inexpensive gas and electric is in LA. I was thinking that it would be really expensive. Although when you think about it, you really don't use any heat or
air conditioning.
Air conditioning. I don't even have an air conditioning here, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's really the big one. Yeah.
So I enjoyed the practice of putting my budget together. And to think about it, I've actually had a budget for the last 20 years. And this is year 20. I've started keeping track officially of my budget for the last 20 years. I probably could put my hands on the last 10 of them through my Google Drive. But I do think it's fun to do a budget. I know. I also like poking my eyes with a hot stick. If you've never done a budget, it is really cool to see where the majority of your money goes, or where your money goes into what expenses.
Yep, it's true.
Okay,
I need to do that.
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
It's a good topic, but now I'm depressed thinking about having to do a budget. But it's okay.
I understand.
Yeah.
How far into the episode are we? I have no idea.
It's funny. We're always on Zencaster, right? And it's like, okay, we have our timer. We have no timer. I mean, I think we're got to be 30 or 40 minutes in. So maybe we'll just do like one more topic and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, we can do that.
What happens when we run out of episodes?
So I want to do one more topic after this. I actually want to do two more topics after this. I have a couple of things I want to talk about, and it's not that they can't hold, but it would be more fun to talk about them today if it's okay. And if not, I understand completely.
Sure. Why not?
So I was looking at the runway of episodes that we have.
Yeah, the runway. Okay. You mean, upcoming episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. Upcoming episodes. And, we have like two more that I have in the can, unless I'm not seeing some. And I don't think I'm not. I think I have two.
You're correct. But I looked at your schedule next week. It looks, I see a lot of things on your calendar for next week. Like, is it mostly interviews or is it other stuff?
Well, let's see. I have one interview tomorrow. I have 2 on Wednesday. I have 2 on Thursday. So I will have 5 more by the end of the week. So we may be short one episode this week, maybe not. And then let me look at next week's. Hold on a second.
We don't have to do 2 interviews a week.
I know. You've given me the latitude to do that. I only have 1 interview, I think, set up for next week.
Wow.
So
it's possible we could run out.
1, 2. I do have 2 the following week. So yeah, we may run out. Nice Guy community, if you just hear like the test pattern when you come here next time, you'll know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, I thought of I saw something really interesting today. The Nice Guys on Business actually ticked into the top 100 podcasts on entrepreneurship on Apple Podcasts.
Get out. Really?
No, that was really cool. I was looking for my Ford Mustang podcast, which of course is up there in the top 100 also. but I did want to see, I do have Nice Guys on Business too. And, JJ and I were talking about it, and it's an interesting algorithm that Apple must have, because I think just the sheer volume of episodes that we have probably either pulls in some listeners, or we get listeners that just are new to us and just go back and like download a whole shit ton of episodes. I don't really know.
I have no idea, but I love that. Top 100? I'm good with that.
We were a
crowded category too.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. We were 100 yesterday. So I don't know what we are today, but yesterday we were literally in the top 100. We were number 100.
Wow. Yep. That's impressive. I like it.
I like that too.
Okay. And then there was something else you wanted to talk about before?
No, we don't have to. I really did want to talk about, there was two other things that I thought were kind of cool. Number one, I just wanted to share this with you because I think it should be something. I think Marjorie now does it too. She's our director of operations, Nice Guy Community. We did our disc profile. So I thought you would kind of share a little bit for those that don't know, just a really, really high level approach of what disc is, because there's some people that probably have never done it before, and share what we have been doing with the some of the bullet points for disc.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. So we took our disc profiles, which is like, it's, I don't even know what the DISC stands for, but some do it with the colors. We did it with like the birds, and it's basically where your strengths and weaknesses are with communication with other people. And, Doug I need to do the same. I just haven't done it yet. Marjorie, I've decided to add them to the signature line of emails to say, hey, this is the best way to communicate with me. And why don't you read what yours are, Doug?
Sure. So when I send out an email now, it's got my whole signature line, the stuff that I'm promoting and all that stuff. But at the bottom of the email, in just this really simple type font, it says, according to Doug's disc profile, Doug hates spreadsheets and long emails. Doug is persistent and patient, making him great with follow-up. Doug loves words of affirmation, and Doug loves people and relationships. And what is so funny about this is, I would say 1 in 5, maybe 1 in 10. I'll stretch this. 1 in 10 emails comes back with I know you don't like long emails, but.
Oh, nice.
So people really are reading this signature line, and I think it's really good. So I think, if you were to put let me see if I can find an email.
Well, I can tell you what mine were, but I haven't actually put it in my signature.
So Marjorie did the same thing, and it says at the bottom of hers, according to Marjorie's disc profile, Marjorie hates rambling and demands. Marjorie is patient, deliberate, and likes things to be complete. Marjorie may come across as blunt or critical. Don't take it personally. Marjorie does best with specifics, directness, and knowing your expectations. This is an amazing thing, because when somebody reads an email, now I'm not saying that people need to be accountable for it. They don't have to change their behavior based upon my receivership of a message or information from them. Mm-hmm. But doesn't it make a lot of sense to tell them the stuff that's important to me, so that they'll at least understand when I respond to something, why I'm responding the way I do?
I totally think so, because the whole thing, at least what I mostly got out of the disc profile things, is we all have a tendency to communicate to other people the way we want to be communicated to, but that's not the way that people want to hear it the way they want to hear it.
Right.
And that's what you're telling people. You're like, hey, by the way, if you want to get through to me, here's how to do it.
Oh my God, it's so true.
You're telling people right up front, if you send me a long email, I'm not going to fucking read it. So if you want to get your point across, make it brief. That's what you're saying.
And Christopher has it on his too. I just searched Christopher, and he put it too. According to Christopher's disc profile, Christopher does not like rushing the decision-making process. True. Christopher appreciates weighing the pros, cons, and implications of a decision. Christopher focuses on quality of evidence and analytical thinking. Mm-hmm. So amazing. It's so true. It's great. And I respect the fact that somebody has, and I don't think this was a bold move on our behalf, but I appreciate when somebody has the balls to be able to put that in there, to own that. When somebody can own that, mm-hmm. that to me is huge. So I think it would be a big win for you if you put it in there, and to watch people's reactions and responses to you when you do it. Now, you don't have to put it in your business email or the other stuff, but put it in, your day gig, but to put it into this one for Turnkey, I think it sets the expectation of who you are and what you're all about.
I agree. I totally agree.
So anyway, I think it would be great if you, Nice Guy Community, if you would like to take the disc profile too. Do you have the one that Merrick's team puts together?
I don't have it.
You know what we'll do?
handy
Here's what we'll
here.
do. We're going to hold on a sec. We will put a link in the show notes that will lead you to the Turnkey page, and we will share with you how to get a hold of that. And I'll just set up a landing page on our, because I think it's important. If you're listening to our show, if you want to know what disc profile is, hey, come through us. We will be happy to. And we can even do stuff like if you want to share some of the results and share how true or not true you think they are to the community, that'd be kind of neat too.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we will make sure we put a link in the show notes about when is this episode air? I got to figure out how much
Friday.
time I have to do this. Okay, that's fine. We have till Friday. You'll remind me. We'll put a link in the show notes how to get a hold of the disc profile, and I'll make sure that's in the show notes. It'll just be, it'll just be Turnkey Podcast. Wait a minute. Should it be Nice Guys on Business?
Yeah, Nice Guys on Business,
Okay.
right?
It'll be Nice Guy. Oh shit, that's a WordPress site. I don't know how to do that. It's going to be. Let's do this. It's going to be turnkeypodcast.com/disc DISC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that will give you access to the disc profile, the one that we use, which is a pretty cool 30-question, really easy. Doesn't take any more than about 10 minutes to figure out. Of course, I didn't read any of the directions before I took it, but that's who I am. That's part of my disc profile. And then I got to write a note. Got to write a note to myself. Hold on, I'll forget to do that. So it's turnkeypodcast.com/disc for Friday. All right, cool. Are we ready to head out of here? You got anything to add, Strickland?
No, let's wrap it up. I think
all right, let's do it.
Enough.
Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For Doug, Strickland, the Nice Guys on Business podcast, I'm Steve O'Brien. Yo, bartender, Jobo needs a refill. Well, did he ask if I could do voiceover for his show? You said he got someone else to do the voiceover. Well, who did he use? Strickland Bonner? No, seriously, who's he using? Strickland Bonner. You're kidding. Strickland is a voiceover for one of the most popular business podcast shows? Seriously? Well, that's it. The world is officially ended as we know it. Hell has frozen over. I seriously need to rethink my professional goals. Thrive fucking loud? Jeez. Strickland fucking Bonner. This is Steve O'Brien coming to you live from my cardiac rehab bed. That's right, I just had a stent put in my heart, but you know what? When Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Lou Diamond snaps his fingers, we all jump and say, "How high, Mr. Diamond?" So here I am, welcoming you on a milestone in your life, your 400th episode. Yeah, I could have gone through and read this pre-scripted crap you sent me, but you know what? I'm better than that. And so are you, Lou Diamond. So are you. Thrive loud, my friend. Thrive loud. 400th episode, congratulations. Just a little tip, by the way. For God's sakes, get rid of Strickland fucking Bonner as your voice guy. Over 1,000 shows. It's not their 1,000th show. It just feels like it. That's fucked up. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.